Hello. Good morning. It's been a long time. I don't know how long. I haven't checked. I'm gonna guess 2 months. Maybe more, or maybe 1 month. But no, it's got to be at least 2. I want to say. I'm on my drive to work. I have a cup of coffee. This guy's cutting me off as I speak. He just cut me off, and like very illegally. It's okay though. Yeah, I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I think I've said in a previous video that if I go a period of time without making one, that's like probably a bad sign. So ditto to that, I guess. Not necessarily all because I was having a hard time. I also kind of low-key forgot about this channel, which isn't good. I kind of really wish I was like super consistent with it, but I'm not, and I think I shouldn't put any pressure on it. So yeah, I do think like a lot of the last few months, definitely like intensely in the last couple of weeks, it's been a roller coaster of a lot of stuff, and I do feel like quite thrown around emotionally by it all. I've had some really high highs, thankfully, like really just great moments, but also like a lot of moments that just like hit me like a truck. And I really don't have a reason for making this video today. I don't have something particular on my mind. This guy is literally doing the most illegal thing ever right now. That's so crazy. I'm on the freeway, and it's like LA traffic time. So you just always see something. What if I just stopped saying that? Yeah. So my life has just been a lot, honestly. Like, I working, and it feels like kind of embarrassing to say how much work really gets to me. But it does. Like, oh my gosh, why can't I speak normally like a normal human being? But it is embarrassing to a certain extent when I talk about how much work can truly exhaust me, because I think a lot of people look at the work that I do and don't really understand it, or don't quite get what I'm doing, and therefore can't relate or understand a reason that I'm so tired from it. But it's a lot, and it's a lot of relational stuff, and it's a lot of like pressure, a lot of ownership that I've never had to deal with, and it's exhausting. And I'm dealing with people that like not dealing with, but like I'm working with people that like I have to meet needs often and on really tight turnarounds, and it feels quite volatile at times too. It feels quite almost like scary, or just tense and cold, but also I can have a lot of fun doing it. And so I'm not trying to bad talk my job at all. I'm like so beyond grateful for it, but that's just like been a thing in my life that I've been so impacted by, that I really am just like exhausted all the time, and emotionally exhausted too, and I haven't had enough time to really be thinking that much like deeply about stuff. Like oftentimes I'll get into like weeks at a time where I'm like, I'm not processing my life because I'm just so busy. And then, like, the only free time I have, I'm so tired from the non-free time I have that I just want to rot. And I don't want to think. And therefore I am. Just kidding. Therefore I don't. Like, I don't give myself the time to think. At least not quite as much as I should. I've been a little bit better at it recently. A little bit better. Like, I have given up myself a few times where... excuse me, yawn. Where I will... Honestly, I've not been better at it, but I've been in therapy, at least that's something. There's a few times, a very few amount of times, where I'll give myself a walk, because I really need it, with, like, no music, no nothing, no, like, phone, like, I'm just on the walk and I need to process what just happened. And there's been a few times that I've given that to myself. I will say the last few days, I think I've been better at it. I've been praying again, which is good, and I'm trying to get better at that actively. I've been quite spiritually depleted until recently, and I don't think that that's, like, a good way to live my life, and I don't want to live a life where I don't have, like, a spiritual aspect to myself. But yeah, I haven't been giving so much thought to things, and so this is not a video where I'm like, yeah, like, this is on my mind and this is really important to me right now and all these things. I'm just kind of catching some stuff up of, like, what's going on. But yeah, this channel is mostly about, like, my mental state of being, less about what I'm up to physically. So I'm not gonna, like, necessarily get into the weeds of it. I try to, like, actually keep this channel very, like, emotional well-being forward, because it's like, it doesn't matter, like, what I'm doing during the video. Like, there's no whatever. But one or two things. I feel this, like, weight kind of got lifted off of my back last week when I learned that at my job I will have the flexibility to stay in, like, a hybrid schedule. I think it's getting loud. I'll be able to stay hybrid at my job indefinitely. For the time being, indefinitely, but, like, you never know. You know. And the reason that's huge for me is because this drive that I'm doing right now, today is, like, the best day of the week to drive in. It's a Monday. Today's drive is, like, 50 minutes. It said something estimated. I'm guessing it'll be, like, around 45, 50. Yeah, just, like, that's the estimate. That's always around what it is. All the other days of the week, it's an hour. And on the way back, it's almost always an hour 15 to an hour 30. No matter what. Like, no matter what day of the week. Hour 15 to an hour 30. Or more. I've had an hour 40 before. That time is so taxing on me. So just destroys me on top of the work. I think that's a huge thing. Like, I really value my time, and I can't utilize it well when I have 2.5 to 3 hours in the car. Because, like, on a normal day, on, like, a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is actually pretty bad too. On those days of the week, the drive in is an hour minimum. It's like, and I also go in late too. I leave late to get to the office late, and it saves me time. It saves me like 30 minutes. If I try to get there at 9, it's 90 minutes, no matter what. I'm going in late every day to make this like work. But so an hour plus an hour and a half, so that's like 2.5 hours average every day just spent in the car after like a 7 or 8 hour day of work. And afterwards I'm just exhausted, and I really like value my time, and I'm not able to use it well, and it kind of has been making me really anxious because I was just like, at some point I'm gonna break. At some point I'm not gonna be able to do this 5 days a week. I wasn't doing 5 days a week, but there was a date in the future that I was told that I would have to come back 5 days. Every day I would have to be in office. And I was just hoping that day wouldn't come. Like, I don't know. Like, there was a date. It's like less than 2 months from now. But I just was like, quite a bit, I don't know. But last week, I was told that I could stay hybrid, and that it kind of like helped. I like made a case for it. I kind of like, I wasn't really the one that did it. My coworker was the one that like super like defended it, like on my behalf, which is like really huge. But there was like a few things that happened last week that just really made like this pressure come off of me that I didn't even know I really had. But like that day in the future, like 2 months from now, where I would have to come in 5 days a week, I just knew like once that started, it was like a ticking time bomb of like, I don't know how long you can do this until I break and crack and fall apart and like something bad's gonna happen. I was like dealing with all that thought, and then I was told, hey, you won't need to come back 5 days a week. It'll be irregular schedule for me. Like some days I'll need to go in on like a random Wednesday or whatever. But then like all it gave me really was last week was like flexibility, and that flexibility felt so good that I literally felt like a new person again. I felt trapped before, and I don't think I even knew that. But like this last like weekend, I felt like myself again. I felt like, okay, this is a manageable thing that I can work. So, like, work can be manageable. And I hadn't even considered that as a possibility because it's been so intense, and I'm sure it'll get more intense too, like comes in waves. But yeah, it's just what I'm thinking about. It's a really interesting shift that I've noticed in my like mental state in the last few days that I've been told that like I even feel like that was really affecting how I was taking care of myself, because as you know, if you've watched any of these videos, like the last few, that I've just been like freaking out about why am I losing like control over myself? Why am I not able to take care of myself? Why am I like, what is going on? And I think somewhere deep in my brain, I was saying, I am on this ticking time bomb that someday I'm gonna crack, I'm gonna break down, have a mental breakdown, like just explode. And when that day comes, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And I think I was like not taking very, very good care of myself because I knew, like, it felt like I knew that day was coming. I just didn't know when. It's like when you're like living on the edge of like, it's like if you get a cancer diagnosis and you have like 3 months to live. What are you gonna do? Spend all your time like lifting and like running and like, I mean, not that either of those things are necessarily bad ways to spend your time. Like, I can enjoy both of those things, but no, I'm gonna spend my time enjoying myself with my friends and family. Like because like the only energy that I have, like I'll use on that, because like I only have a certain amount of time left. I'm not gonna waste time like taking care of myself. I'm not gonna eat perfectly. I'm not gonna like, or I don't even know. I'm not using this analogy well, but that's kind of what it felt like, where I was like, the end is near, is kind of what I think I had in my brain. The end is near, and the end was the break that would happen to me eventually. Therefore, why would I take care of myself? Because I'm just gonna like die anyways. Like literally, maybe I thought I was gonna die. Maybe I thought there was definitely a part of my brain, 100% there was a part of my brain that was like, I'm commuting every day on this freeway, and there's a chance that I'm gonna fall asleep at the wheel because I'm so tired, or just get into an accident because people here don't drive very safe. And there's nothing I can do about that. It almost felt inevitable. And I'm a safe driver. I drive fairly safe. I'm like, I say that as I'm talking to a camera right now, but I'm driving really safe. I'm paying attention. But I felt that was like an inevitability. It's like what I was signing myself up for. And I feel like that weight has been lifted, because for some reason 2 days a week hybrid, like, or some more than that depending on the week, flexibility wise, it's like just enough that I can make it work, is what it felt like. I was like, oh wait, like what if I can manage this now? Like what if this is going to become manageable? And I don't know if it's manageable, because guess what? I'm doing 3 days a week right now, and it's a lot. Like all the time, it feels like a lot. But maybe that was what I was worried about, is because I'm making it work right now, but I felt the feeling of, oh, like in 5 days, I'm sorry, when I have to go back for 5 days a week, I can barely manage 3. I'm gonna fall apart immediately. I don't know. So that's the whole thing in my brain. Basically, I feel like I just, maybe on Friday or Thursday of last week, maybe even like a little bit earlier, but I was kind of figuring it out, just kind of transitioning out. I feel a pressure getting lifted that I think is pushing me forward finally. And I don't want to speak too early about taking care of myself like perfectly or anything, because I'm not doing that necessarily, but just enough to feel like myself again, instead of trapped in this like cycle. I already feel like better, basically, is what I'm saying. I feel better in that aspect of my life. So that's great, I think. Another thing on my mind, I'm going to totally swap directions of where we're going. I'm going to sip though. Another thing. And I want to like be careful with how I talk about this, because I don't want it to sound like I'm I don't want it to sound like I'm self-diagnosing myself, because I simply would not like to do that. But I'll come back to the fact that I don't want to self-diagnose myself. I had like a conversation with my therapist a few weeks ago, it's probably a month ago now, that is kind of basically like, hey, what if I have OCD? Because I started recognizing a pattern in the way I was thinking. And so, regardless of, this is the thing, it's like, regardless if I have it or not, so I'm not self-diagnosing myself, regardless if I have it or not, I have a pattern of thinking that I'm dealing with that may or may not be OCD. So I should probably just refer to it as like the pattern of thinking. But something I became very aware of in my brain is that I have like very particular ways of viewing things, and oftentimes they have like one outcome. It's like the one outcome, or there's only one possibility in my head of how things will go, and I'll obsess over that. I will obsess over it, like, to the point where it ruins me. And I think that might be quite visible in my past videos if I go back and watch them and look for this in this like new context that I'm seeing it in. But I freak out about some things, and I can't explain why, but just because they're wrong. So like, I'm like, do I even have a good example right now? I do think, okay, this isn't a prime example, but no, I don't want to say that one yet, because that one's kind of like a different part of it. Basically, like, I will obsess over the fact that I need to hit my steps every single day, and if I don't, or like, no, there's no if I don't in that scenario. And I think a normal human, or like, it's not just steps, but it's like, I need to hit my steps, and also I need to like get this workout in, and I need to be home by 8:24 to be able to leave the house by 8:30. And if I don't leave the house by, or like, I need to get out of the house by 8:30, because then I can get to the office by 9:30-ish, and then I can, like, it's like a very, like, the way I structure everything in my brain is so down to the wire of like, or no, not down to the wire, that's a different phrase, down to the like millisecond of, there's no flexibility in here for anything to go wrong. There's nothing in here that I'm allowed to do wrong, is kind of what I tell myself quite often. And this is all things that I was like discovering about myself and how I was thinking in therapy. Basically, I like, the big one right now is work. It's, like, work is a lot of work, but I know I need to stay at this job for like X amount of time. I know I need to do this with my life for this amount of time until I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. Therefore, I'm going to put up with everything that I'm dealing with because of it. Everything that I'm dealing with is all these side effects that I just talked about, like the exhaustion, the mental like loops that I'm having to like jump through, like everything. I'm going to put up with it because my brain knows. It knows I need to do this for this time. Like, this is what I'm doing. And if I don't, there's no if I don't do it. That's like what I think is the difference here, is I don't make up a possibility of, oh, like, there's always like another option here, there's always another option here. I don't open up that opportunity in my brain. There's other, so not that that's particularly OCD, but it's like a way of thinking, a pattern of thinking that I have. I didn't explain it very well, but it comes in the smallest of ways. Here's another good example in a small way. So that's a big one, like with work. A small way is I get a $35 DoorDash voucher at work for lunch. My brain goes, if I don't spend exactly $35, I'm a terrible person. Because I just wasted the opportunity that I was given to spend money that wasn't mine on something that will benefit me. And like benefit me for like my personal life, like food. It's like, that's like an important thing that'll keep me, keep me well. I'm so particular with that. Every time I get like a voucher, I will add an item that is $2.65, and then I'll go and check, and then it's like, oh no, like that actually goes over because it adds like a fee, and then I'll delete that and I'll find a different item, and then that doesn't work either, and then I'll go back to my original order and I'll add like random stuff that I don't even want to this order just because I wanted to get it as close to 35 as possible, and then if it's not quite there, I'll tip the person extra. And if I don't do that, my brain just goes, oh well, you're a terrible person because you're not using the money that was given to you as an opportunity, like the best of your opportunity. Even though, like, what if I just want a $20 Chipotle bowl? Like, what if I just want that? Like what? Like, but I don't. I can't do that. I like can't comprehend, and I've never not done that. That's the crazy thing. I've never done the thing that my brain says I can't do because I can't do it. There you go. There's a few like things where you like have to here and there, which I can't really think of an example. Oh, like my like rigidity of my routine, where I go, hey, I need to leave the house at 8:30, and then I leave 5 minutes later because I don't even know, like I had to clean something up, or something, and then I'm later for work. All of that, like those things happen, but I think while they happen, there's like other different aspects of it that come up, where it's like, if I don't clean this now, then someone will get mad at me, and I'll be mad at myself later because I didn't do it at the time, and like there's a whole different level that maybe things like build up. So that's one way that I think, like, it's like the small things, like how can I pay for my lunch, to literally like biggest life decisions. What am I doing with my life for work and like life, and how am I spending my time, and am I spending my time well? And I don't know, just all of those like big, huge existential stuff, down to literally everything is calculated in my brain. And if it's there's no if it's not. That's what there's no other side. The wall of the other side of the different options, it's just like a dark wall, and I can't see past it. So that's what my brain is doing constantly. Another small thing that I think might be related to this is just like weird kind of patterns that I get in my brain, get stuck in my brain. I don't really have a good time to explain this because I'm pulling up right now. But I basically get scared I kind of get scared and whatever. Can't think of the word. Paranoid. I kind of get paranoid over some very weird things. A lot of it is like the car accident thing that I was talking about. That was like the big one of like, oh, I know if I have to go in 5 days a week to my job, I will get into an accident. I will get into it. I was like, this will happen. And I was scared of it every time I was on the drive. I was like, I'm scared of this. And it's something I obsessively think about. There's other small things, like every time I'll walk up stairs, I will convince myself like I'm going to fall forward. I'm going to trip forward and smash my teeth. I have some other ones, like every time I'm close to a car or every time I open my car hood that's like running, if it's ever running. I don't think it's really ever running when I open my hood, but if I'm ever close to a car while it's running, or if my hood is open, or if I need to do something to my car, I'm convinced it just will explode on me and I'll just die in an explosion. So that's super fun to think about. And it comes to my brain every time I'm in those scenarios. There's smaller ones too. These are kind of like intense. Yeah, there's definitely smaller ones, but yeah, it's just like a pattern of thought that I've noticed in myself where it's like, oh, this, like I'm like scaring myself, and so that's my update, is that I'm doing that. And I'm pulling into the parking garage right now. And that drive was really not that bad. It was like 44 minutes, 45 minutes, yeah. Oh, I think that's a good spot. But that's all. I just have those two updates. I have no idea what I'm going to title this video. It's probably just like a casual thing. Maybe a casual catch-up, 02 or 3 or whatever it will be. Because because I'm really discovering a lot about myself right now. So it's just like in a different form. I'm not going to say to expect more videos. We'll see. But I have been trying to be active about doing stuff on my drives, whether it's calling people or thinking or listening to a book or something. So maybe I'll try to fit this in to that, of just using my time wisely for stuff like this, because this helps me think through things and process it. And so does therapy though, so that's what that's actually technically for. But if you're seeing this, have a good day. I'm gonna